Hello and welcome to the MB Om podcast, where you will learn to master the business of yoga with guests from around the world who have experienced becoming successful yoga teachers, studio owners, and much more. Now, here's your host, Amanda Kingsmith.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the MB Om podcast. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by FitBizzle. FitBizzle is a simple booking and payment system for yoga teachers. It's an affordable alternative to MindBody Online because with FitBizzle, you only pay for what you use instead of a large monthly fee. For 1 month free trial, check out fitbizzle.com/Amanda. I am so excited that FitBizzle has chosen to sponsor this episode of the podcast, and I also can't wait to get my free trial of FitBizzle. So make sure you check it out, fitbizzle.com/Amanda. There'll be a link in the description for this episode as well as on the show notes at www.mbomyoga.com. All right, on to today's episode of the podcast. I am very excited to be joined by Thai massage yoga teacher Shai Plonski. Shai and I connected a couple of months ago, and he wrote a really awesome guest blog post for MBOM on the 3 most powerful ways that Thai yoga massage can help you grow your yoga business. And you may be wondering to yourself, how can Thai yoga massage improve your yoga business? And I kind of had the same thoughts, but there is a very strong argument for how it can increase your business, increase the way that you work with your students. And I was super interested in how Thai yoga massage can benefit your yoga business, that I wanted to share an episode with you guys with Shai. And so Shai is the founder of the Still Light Center. He's been teaching Thai yoga massage for 15 years now. He's taught thousands of students around the world. And he's also the author of the best-selling book on Amazon called Compassionate Touch, Giving Massage for Optimal Health, Thriving Relationships, and Spiritual Awakening. There'll be a link for that in the show notes, so don't forget to check that out and get your copy. All right, without further ado, here's Shai. I'm very excited to be joined on the podcast today by Shai Plonski. Thank you so much for joining me today, Shai.
Thanks, Amanda. It's so great to be here.
Yeah, and what listeners don't know is we've actually had, this is our 3rd attempt at doing this. I had to reschedule the first time because of bad internet, had bad internet the second time, and so 3rd time's a charm, I think.
I often say 3 is the magic number, and I'm really excited to get to share what Thai massage is all about and how it can help your listeners and yoga teachers in so many kinds of ways. So Let's have a great talk.
Yeah, definitely. So to start with, where are you joining me from today?
Well, right now I'm in Toronto, in Canada. I'm originally from Montreal, and I kind of bounce around all over the place teaching Thai massage, and I'm here on a little cross-Canada tour. I'll be teaching some massage in Moncton, and then I'm also in Montreal and Toronto and Edmonton over the next 2.5 weeks.
Wow, that's amazing. That sounds like quite an adventure that you have ahead of you.
I am super excited about it, for sure.
Awesome. And so I want to get into, how you've come to the point where you're teaching, across Canada and you're traveling a lot for your work. But I think a good place to start is to back up and talk about how you first got into yoga and then how you first got into Thai massage.
Sure. Well, I guess my story goes back to the 90s, and I got into yoga when I was I was in Vancouver, and I had a cousin there who was really into yoga, and she's the one who introduced me to yoga. And then I went to Japan and Asia for 2 years, and that's where I first heard about Thai massage. But then when I came back to Montreal, and that's where it all really started for me in the year 2000, first with yoga. And I'm so blessed that in Montreal there's this teacher, his name is Dr. Bali, and back then he was already 77. He's still alive and teaching yoga 6 days a week, and he's 93.
Wow.
So I had this amazing, beautiful person in my life, mentor and teacher right from pretty much the very beginning of my yoga life, who showed me just how beautiful a life built around yoga could be, and that you can certainly do what you love to do as long as you're alive, and that it will help you with that kind of quality of life. And shortly thereafter, I guess I had the seed planted when I was in Thailand, but I never did study Thai massage when I was there. It really kind of took a global trip from the person who first got me, it was someone who I met in Japan, who I then met up again in Nepal, who told me about this place called the Omega Institute, which is in upstate New York, about an hour or so north of New York City, who told me about this place. And I was kind of lost and drifting in my life and trying to figure out what to do about a year and a half after I got back to Montreal. So I went to Omega I knew that I had an interest in massage, and I just didn't know anything about it. And this place, I could go and volunteer and get exposed to all different kinds of yoga and massage, essentially. And Thai massage was like the first thing that I was introduced to. And basically what Thai massage is, it is like yoga put into a massage, yoga and meditation that gets turned into a massage. So I already had my yoga practice going really well. And this other way of bringing yoga to life was just like, wow. And it's been that way ever since.
Wow. So it's kind of like love at first massage. I don't know.
Love at first touch. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. And what do you feel like you loved so much about it? Was it just the relaxing component, or how it made you feel, or how it made you feel giving the massage?
You're asking me that question, and honestly, I still smile when I think about what this massage is, because fundamentally, Thai massage is like meditation and yoga turned into a massage. So the first things that totally attracted me to it was that it's going to feel at least as good for me to give as it is for the person to receive. And giving it is a spiritual practice. So when you come into it with a yoga background, a meditation background, and that kind of care for yourself and for the world, you receive so many benefits, both physically and spiritually, that it's kind of like nothing else, because you are connecting also in this one-on-one way with another person. And it's in those connections I find that that's the beauty of life. That's like where life teaches you so many lessons. And number one on that lesson list is the real truth of what it means to be connected, what it means to be one. It's a concept that we want, but here you really get to live it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I've only actually ever done Thai massage once. I did it at a Wanderlust festival a couple of years ago, and I really didn't know anything about it when I did it. And I was really, really, really impressed with it. Like, it just, yeah, like you said, it was amazing to engage with the person that I was doing it with. And then it was also amazing to receive.
Oh, great. I'm so happy you've had a chance to try it out.
Yeah, definitely. And so you kind of fell in love with this practice right away. How did you turn that into your full-time business?
I fell in love with it at Omega, and I did little sampler kind of, I studied just a few hours with it and that summer, but then I heard about this school that was in Montreal that was literally a block away from where I was already living in Montreal. So I went and sought the person out, took the first class. And that's one of the beautiful things about Thai massage is that in, that first class, so, similarly the way I teach it, I have either a 2-day or a 4-day kind of foundational training. And then by the time you're done, you already know a complete massage. So really, it's so easy to get started because you get immersed and you learn something of great depth and quality, and you have something that you can start using right away. So part of the training is to then do some practice massages, and I just started practicing on my friends and family. The last person that I massaged in these first 10 that I was needing to do at that time was someone whose mother owned a yoga studio. She got really excited by what the whole experience was like, told her mother about it, and her mom wanted to meet me and on the spot offered me an opportunity to start giving Thai massages at her yoga studio. And truly, I wasn't even certified yet, but she believed in me so much and, it got me really thinking to myself, the truth is, internally, I felt yes, I could massage people already. I was getting all these great results. And, if it was going to be with someone that I really didn't feel comfortable with because of things going on in their body, I would just decline. But otherwise, if someone was in fairly good health and just looking for a good massage, then I could do it. And I did it and I jumped into it. And kind of took off from there.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. And so how many years have you been doing Thai massage now?
I've been doing Thai massage for a little more than 15 years now.
Wow. And you're still totally in love with the practice.
I am so totally in love with the practice.
Yeah. That's amazing to hear.
Mm-hmm. It really, I'm not going to say it's been all love and not looking back the entire time. I've certainly questioned, like, am I going to continue to do this for my, at certain points along the journey? But I kept coming back to it because fundamentally, there's another word that I suppose is at the heart of what this is all about that I've been kind of toying with, and the word is metta. And metta means loving kindness and compassion. So to me, really, this massage is a training in metta, in discovering all the love that we already have in ourselves, in really like every cell of our body, and then taking it out and bringing it out into the world. So I just can't really ever think of anything better. And then I get into these workshops where I get to teach people this, and I see just how transformative it is for everyone. Then I hear back on all the stories of how they're introducing it into their yoga classes, into their life, and all the different ways it supported them, supported all the people they're massaging. And I just know that I found something that is really so sustaining and life-giving. So here I am, still doing it.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I'm curious, so 15 years ago compared to now, like what is the Thai massage industry, I guess you could say? How has it changed?
The industry has changed in that pretty much in any major city now, you can find a good place to learn Thai massage, and you can certainly find places to go and get and receive Thai massage. And that to me is a great opportunity if you're someone who's brand new and just finding out about it right now. One thing I've come to learn in the business world is that when something is already working, then that shows that it's working. There's an audience, there's a market for it, and your job of having to explain it to people and just kind of build it up from the beginning, that part is already taken care of for you. You just have something really good to give. You find a good niche kind of client that you want to target, and it's there for you. So that's kind of where it's at now. When I got into it, I would say that it was still very much on the up and up. But now, like in a place like Toronto, for example, if you happen to be there, there's like 5 schools where you can study Thai massage. If you're in New York or Chicago or not too far from any major city, you can definitely find places to study. And then the fact that there's now yoga studios also in not only big cities, but almost any medium and small city as well, means that if you can connect with those places as a way to get started, it's also, really easy to get going. So those challenges were probably a little bigger before, but now it's easier. It's just everything's a little easier because there's so much more awareness for it.
Yeah, definitely. I could imagine it's probably, looking back 15 years ago, it was probably a lot different if you're planning, say like the cross Canada trip that you're on right now. Did you have experiences where you were kind of, approaching yoga studios and saying, can I take workshop or can I teach workshops here? Can I have, provide offerings for your students? And if so, what was that response like?
That response actually has always been really good. I will say that in the yoga world, because Thai massage is fundamentally putting people into yoga postures and massaging them while they're in those postures or as part of a whole sequence, there's always been a really good synergy between yoga studios and Thai massage. So most of the places that I teach have always been yoga studios because of that. And yoga students and yoga teachers, there's so much connection to what this is. I mean, really, even something we haven't talked about, but I mean, the origins of Thai massage, it comes from India. It's a 2,500-year-old massage form, and the founder of Thai massage is an Ayurvedic doctor named Jivaka Kumar Bach. And Ayurveda is really the sister science of yoga. And so the principles and the fundamental kind of philosophy of Thai massage, or, some people call it Thai yoga massage, and that's another question I get. Really, it's the same thing. It's just a different title that describes what we're doing. So you've always had this connection to yoga, and it's, yoga students and yoga teachers have always been drawn to it. So that part has been pretty consistent the whole way through. It's just that now more yoga teachers, I guess, know about it, so I just get invited to more and more places.
Yeah, that's really interesting to hear that it's always had like good uptake and stuff. You never know. I feel like the industry within yoga has changed so much over the last probably like 20 years that, yeah, it's really interesting to hear. And so at what point did you start the Still Light Center?
I started the Still Light Center in 2011 in Toronto. So that's the name of my school where I teach Thai massage. We started in Toronto. Now we're based out of Hamilton, which is about an hour west of Toronto. And so we have classes there that are going on all year round, plus all the different, we are a network of a bunch of teachers. And personally myself, I teach not just there, but I teach all over. Really, I've taught on 4 different continents at this point, and I do a lot of my teaching these days really all over North America.
Wow, that's amazing. And from starting a Thai massage school and having a business in the industry, what do you feel like are some of the biggest things that you've learned?
Well, some of the biggest things I've learned are definitely to work hard every day, believe in what you do, and make relationships with people. Those are, some of the fundamental things I would say in terms of being successful at creating a business. I feel like, in Toronto, if we're going to talk specifically about that area, there's a really big yoga conference that happens every year called the Yoga Conference, and it brings people in. So that was a really great way to get ourselves known. And even things like going to farmers markets and putting yourself in places where there are people who are just into healthy living. And that was actually another really great way to do that. So we would go to farmers markets and give massages a lot as well to get people interested in what we do. But these days, because of social media and because of blogging and everything like that, I would also say a really great way to get yourself known is just to write articles and have podcasts like this, and the reach and the kind of people that you can speak to from here just gets that much bigger and bigger.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're the first person I've talked to on the podcast who teaches Thai massage, or who at least does it like full time. So I can definitely see the value in, getting your name out that way.
Great. Yeah.
And so at what point did you release your book? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I wrote a book called Compassionate Touch, Giving Massage for Optimal Health, Thriving Relationships, and Spiritual Awakening. I released the Kindle version of that book this August, so August 2017, and within a week it was the #1 Kindle book in 3 categories: the massage category, health and relationships, and a spirituality category on Amazon. So that was really exciting. It's already sold over, 4,000 copies, and here we are like 3 months later.
That's amazing.
And thank you. It is amazing. I suppose I really always had it in my own heart that there's a definite audience for massage. And what I wanted to do with this book was educate people about the value of giving massage. So, I think what I've come to see in my classes, like when I teach couples and intro and when people bring partners, there's always the one person that has to bring the other partner to convince them about it. And that's the person who probably wanted to receive some massage. So, the truth is what I've come to learn over 15 years, as I said right from the very beginning, is just how beneficial what it has done for me and so many people in terms of giving massage and to kind of demystify what this is about, because I know why plenty of people don't like to give massage. It can be painful. It hurts. You're told you're no good at it. And I guess that's because we have a certain idea of what it is to give someone a massage, where you're using your hands, for example, all the time, and you're squeezing and you're tiring yourself out to help someone, and there's no balance in that, and what I've been describing here is that actually giving the massage has to feel at least as good as getting. And when you receive Thai massage, like, let's be clear, I think receiving it is one of the best things that people tell me things like, oh, I feel like literally 2 years younger. I feel like 2 inches taller. I've been stretched out in this incredible way. Like, they're blown away by the whole experience of receiving. And what I'm saying is that giving is at least as good. And those benefits, I talked about the spiritual and the meta benefits, but of course there's the physical benefits as well. When you give the massage, you're using all the different parts of your body to give, might be your elbows or your feet or your knees, along with your hands. So, you feel opened up, you feel really healthy and vibrant. And this book was essentially a way to talk about, really on all the different levels, how great giving this kind of massage can be for yourself, for connecting with other people, and also with spirit.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really interesting too, because my, I guess kind of thoughts of massage have been exactly what you were kind of talking about, is like, it's really hard on my hands. It's like digging around for these knots, and it's like, you do it for like 3 minutes and your hands are exhausted, and, the person, which in most cases is my boyfriend, is like, well, that wasn't long enough. Like, you didn't really even do anything. I'm like, well, go book a massage with a professional then. Like, that's not what I do. And I found that my experience with Thai massage was exactly that. It's like, you're not like digging around the way you think of traditional massage. It's more of like the kind of rocking action, and it is very soothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the truth is you can get rid of all kinds of tension and all kinds of knots that a person has, but you're not going to do it in a way that tires you out, because you have the leverage of your whole body. And especially if you learn enough, like, let's say, to do like a 1 hour massage, like if you come and do a weekend workshop with me, I'm going to teach you how to use your forearms, your elbows, your feet to massage. So you have not that much reliance on your hands to get into all those things. And like you just said about the rocking, by rocking and kind of turning it into almost like there's a flow, and even if you want to use the word like a dance type kind of quality to it, so that actually engages your whole body. Everything comes from your core, and it's just whatever part of your body is making contact. Even if it is your hands, they just happen to be what are making the contact, but you're not forcing anything. So it's just really, really good on you as you give.
Right. Yeah. If you, like, looking back 15 years when you first kind of like fell in love with Thai massage, and you were, at the Omega Center doing the, your first kind of like trainings and your volunteer work and that, could you have ever imagined where you are now with like a best-selling book and your own teaching center and that sort of thing?
Certainly not in a million years at the time. I can't believe where I'm at this point with it. I just saw Thai massage as a window into this whole world of health and wellness. And I just thought, I'm going to walk through the door here, or go through the window, and then just kind of see what's on the other side. And sure enough, now it's like, wow, it's really beautiful. And I feel blessed every day that I get to do this and build a life the way I wanted to build a life, like there's no doubt. Like, I have a daughter who's 5, and because I have my own business, I certainly traveled to teach these courses, but I don't, I'm in control of that. And so I haven't had to go out 9 to 5 every day. I've been able to have, way more quality time with her, I think, than people who live that kind of life have had to do. And that's because of Thai massage. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've talked to a couple different people who are parents on this podcast in the yoga industry. And then I also have a travel podcast that I co-host with my boyfriend. And we've talked to a lot of people who have kind of done like the retired early or taking time off to travel with kids. And it seems like a consistent thing between anyone who works a non-traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 with children is it's such a gift to be able to spend those like early years with a child as they're developing and just spend more than, a couple hours in the evening with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best gift. The bond that I have with Sophie, with my daughter, is the most important thing in my life for sure, and certainly one of those for her as well. And now to see her at 5 and thriving and so comfortable in her environment, and and just a sponge for knowledge and playful and creative and everything. And I know that, the time that we were able to spend together with her as parents have been so key in bringing out her natural beauty that way. So, it's again just such a gift that I was able to do this from the beginning and be 10 years into the career that I had been plotting out when she came into our life.
Yeah, definitely. And so I think that one of the big things I found in the yoga industry or in the wellness industry is that people tend to be working a lot. So teaching a lot of like studio type classes. And in order to make enough money to kind of live, it's like they're teaching a lot. So they're getting a little bit burnt out. And I think that Thai massage is a really great way to not only differentiate yourself, but also add another unique offering to what you already offer as a yoga teacher. Can you talk a little bit about how Thai massage can improve your business or improve your offerings as a yoga teacher?
Sure. So I want to start by just saying that, I think I've taught, it's hard to keep track, but roughly I go with around 3,500 students up to this point in my career. I would say well over 1,000 of them have been yoga teachers, and maybe more, like 2,000 of them have some kind of yoga background. So, I've gotten a lot of stories back from yoga teachers, not only in class, but then how they have gone on to use Thai massage to help build their business and help build their, their life the way they want it to be. I would say, of course, the most obvious way that it's going to help you is it's going to give you a whole other skill that you can offer in private. So you can charge, of course, it depends where you are at, like what city or where you live, what the going rate is for private yoga or private massage, but certainly you can charge that much and a little bit more. So, on the West Coast in California, you can charge easily $120 an hour to give a massage. Maybe in Toronto, similarly, $90 to $100 an hour or more. I know people who charge sometimes even closer to $200 an hour. So there's definitely plenty of, it just gives you that element to be able to do privates with yoga students.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Another really great one is, first of all, besides having something new, like you said, how does that enhance yourself, your skill as a yoga teacher? Because you're learning how to touch someone in this one-on-one kind of way, and especially the way I teach, it really is all about the quality of touch. There's so many applications in a yoga class to help with adjustments and putting, a lot of yoga teachers, they come into the class maybe even as their number one reason because they have the need to feel more confident to do adjustments and to put their hands on their yoga students. And they're kind of told, these days, I think there's plenty of people who come up there told to never touch their students in class because you don't want to injure anyone. So this is really to give you some important foundational knowledge that if you did feel inspired to do so, then how to do it in the right way. And it's been really transformative for so many yoga teachers to then, know how to adjust someone in the class and how to also add Thai massage at the end of classes, like in a shavasana, massaging the feet, massaging the hands, massaging the head. That adds to the whole quality and experience of their teaching. So it's been pretty amazing that way to get those stories as well.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I mean, definitely something that I'm still cautious of as a yoga teacher. But when I first entered the yoga world, I was very, very, uncomfortable touching people, especially people I didn't know if I didn't know their practice. And I think it's important to be cautious if you don't know somebody's body or their past history or their injuries. I've heard so many, awful stories of yoga teachers actually hurting somebody because they didn't know something about their body. And I think that being able to know how to gently touch people and more about that anatomy and how to make them feel really good could be a really, really positive addition to your teaching.
I couldn't agree more. I think being cautious is incredibly important and not doing anything that you don't feel comfortable with. And yet that doesn't mean that that you shouldn't ever touch. Well, I mean, I guess it could mean that if that's where you're at, but it doesn't have to mean that for your entire career. So, the whole foundation of my school in terms of like teaching someone the quality of touch and how to massage, I reduce it to one sentence, which is simply this, which is, how slow can you go? How high can you fly? And what it means is like the more that you can really ease in, the better the whole experience is going to be. So as it speaks to, let's say, adjustments in a yoga class, you want to be light. You want to, whatever you think somebody's maximum is, you always start in a much lighter place your hands there, and then really gradually, lightly make some kind of adjustment. Check in if you're ever in any kind of doubt, and you just kind of work in this way that has lots of good communication that really starts from a much softer and lighter gradual place, and then you kind of work from there. So I'm totally, that's the secret really to giving a great massage, to giving great adjustments in classes. It is to work from respect, being cautious, and having great communication, and then seeing where you go.
Yeah, definitely. This episode of the podcast is also brought to you by Yoga Boss Babe. Yoga Boss Babe is a monthly subscription service where you get a fun, awesome box geared towards yoga entrepreneurs delivered right to your doorstep if you're based out of the United States. If you're international, then you'll get everything digitally sent to you via your email. And in your Yoga Boss Babe box, you're going to get things like awesome, inspiring books. You're going to get tools to improve your yoga business, awesome products, and so much more. You also get access to the online community as well as to the Yoga Boss Babe Academy. I am super, super excited to have partnered with Yoga Boss Babe to offer you $5 off your first box. So go to yogabossbabe.com, subscribe, and enter promo code MBOM in order to get $5 off your box. Once you're into Yoga Boss Babe, you also have access to my course on how to create a website for yoga entrepreneurs, which is really awesome and super fun. So I hope that you enjoy that. Once again, yogabossbabe.com, promo code MBOM to get $5 off your first box. And so you offer privates. Is that mostly kind of what people who in the Thai massage industry offer?
So that is one really good aspect to it, but especially if you're a yoga teacher, and this is something else I wanted to add, and I think actually is such an untapped way to make more money as a yoga teacher that also, that just adds to the balance, I would say. Yes, there's the privates that you will do, but also there are the group kind of classes that you can do and make workshops that are built around Thai massage and yoga together. So again, I've seen yoga studios and yoga teachers introduce Thai massage with restorative yoga and Thai massage with yin yoga into their studios, and they're quickly like the most popular classes in the studio. And, the first place that I started doing that with a studio, it was in Rochester in near Detroit. And they would literally have 40 or 50 people in the class with a waiting list every time that they would offer these classes. And then, I trained a few people. You can't just be one person massaging that many people, but, there are ways to massage at least, with a ratio of 1:8 or 1:10. And, what that basically means is that the yoga studio can charge more than a regular class. The person giving will get paid more than a regular class, and the person who's paying for the class, of course, they're paying more than they do for a regular yoga class, but they're paying way less than they would for a massage. So it's essentially this win-win-win model where if you didn't have $100 to pay for an hour of massage, but you could easily pay $30 or $40 for a 2-hour yoga massage kind of experience, all of a sudden you've got way more value for you as the student and more money to be shared between the yoga studio and the yoga teacher. So doing that a lot is definitely a great way to make good money by bringing it all together.
Yeah, definitely. And when you add Thai massage to a class like restorative or yin, how do you approach sort of like the idea of, is it people partnering with one another to do the Thai massage, or do you make it very much like you're the person doing the Thai massage?
So what happens in a class like that is the students are on their own, and then you have the various props around the yoga mat, like if you were doing a restorative class and also with a yin class. And then you would have the yoga teacher who may also know how to do Thai massage, and another person, or as many people as you want, depending on how big you want the class to be, who can give the massage. And essentially they're going to walk around, and when people are being in those postures that last for 5 minutes or so, then they're going to massage the students while they're in those postures.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I was wondering because I know I was co-teaching with a boot camp teacher. We were just doing like these outdoor sort of fun like boot camp followed by yoga programs. And I got them to do partner work one day, and she actually got feedback. It's her business that we were doing this through. She got feedback that, one of the people really didn't like working with a stranger, which is something I hadn't considered because the yoga studio, that's kind of my home base, in Alberta. We do a ton of partner work there, and maybe it's uncomfortable the first time you do it, but I find that in general, I'm not uncomfortable with that. And I had never thought that maybe somebody else would. So yeah, that's why I was just wondering, how you introduce that into a class setting, because you never know if people are like, oh, I don't want to massage this random stranger. I'm not into that.
Okay. Well, I mean, the truth is I do that. That's what I do for a living, right? I teach people how to get comfortable with strangers really quickly. That's a whole other possibility. Just want to separate, because on the one hand, what I was saying before is you're the Thai massage and yoga expert, and you do it onto people who are in a class. But I've certainly also had students who have been with me for a while who are feeling comfortable enough for sure to then teach some like intro classes at their yoga studios, a 2.5 hour kind of intro class where they are doing exactly that and getting people to work together. And, fundamentally, what gets people comfortable to work with another person is you, the teacher, and you kind of have to set the ground rules about what is acceptable kind of touch. But really what guides you is metta. So if you make your class all about loving kindness and respectful kind of touch, and, essentially we meditate to start the class, so it puts everyone in the right vibe. It really does bring out the best in people right away. And of course, then what you're going to teach people to do is to touch in a way that's very non-invasive. And, like, for example, a foot massage where you walk on somebody's feet, or a back massage where you're, the person who's receiving is lying down. We're not going to massage any areas of the body where there's any risk of impropriety or anything like that. You're just going to massage areas that really need it in a way that uses your body in a way that feels good. So, that can certainly be done as well. And if you're interested in, you get into Thai massage and you start giving it for a little while, the next step, of course, could be to teach it as well. And at least teaching intro 2-hour, 3-hour classes is a pretty, natural and easy thing to do that also anyone can do over time and bring it into their yoga studios.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Thanks for clearing that up.
Sure.
I'm curious about like the certification process for Thai massage. Like, is it part of, like, does it go towards credits for Yoga Alliance? Is it its own thing? How does that all work?
So, Yoga Alliance is kind of a funny thing with Thai massage. In and of itself, if you're someone who's part of Yoga Alliance and you want to add more CEUs, as long as you take Thai massage at the yoga studio that is accredited with Yoga Alliance, then you can use it for your continuing education as part of your requirements with Yoga Alliance. If you were to take it at a place that is just like a Thai massage school, then it may not be accepted as continuing education with Yoga Alliance. But I mean, personally, I have a certification process, which is essentially to complete 2 courses and practice massages. So you come for the first level, which I call Thai Massage 101, or I have two versions of it. I have a 4-day and a 2-day version of it. You learn a little bit less, of course, in the 2-day version, but you take that first level and go and practice, and then come back and take the second level. And once you do the practice massages at the end of the second level, then essentially you apply for certification. You receive certification. And there are 20 massages that I ask you to do for each level, so for a total of 40. You don't necessarily have to have completed the first 20 before you come back for the second level. Just be engaged in it. And then but after you're done the second level and you're ready to apply, you do have to have 40 in total. And you would just, give more of the second level massages, which includes all the first level stuff that you learned as well. By the time you're done with those 2 levels, you will have 2.5 to 3 hours worth of massage techniques. And what I teach in the first level, I teach you how to do, it depends again if the 2-day or the 4-day version, either a 60 or a 90-minute massage that gets you massaging all the different parts of the body, that helps you to use all the different parts of your body. I mentioned your hands, your thumbs a little bit, but really not very much. Your forearms, your elbows, and your feet. You're going to learn how to use all those parts of your body to massage your partner's body in a 1 hour or 90-minute massage. And then in the second level, we essentially double the amount of techniques that you have, introduce how to massage with your knees as well. So basically you're using your whole body to give a massage to someone, and also customize the massage. So what I'm all about is really, by that end of that second level, you can really see that person as this most amazing individual that they are, and customize not only for you have 3 hours of stuff so that you can pull together the best 1 hour or 90 minutes for that person, but also we use Ayurveda to understand a person's dosha, to basically be able to see that person for more than just the physical person that they are, but really to see the energetic side. And so, if they had, let's say, shoulder issues or back issue, you're going to address those things, but you're going to round it up. You're going to do it in such a way that really helps to ground that person, or uplift that person, or nurture that person, according to the dosha that really speaks to them as well, to make a beautiful experience.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I think that it's really great that you offer, the time to practice as well, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like with teacher trainings, it's like yoga teacher trainings, you learn how to be a yoga teacher and you practice kind of a couple key things. But I feel like when you get into the classroom, it's very much like, oh my gosh, how do I put everything that's been shoved into my brain into actually producing a good class for my students. And wow. I love the idea of having more hands-on right off the get-go.
Great. I give you all the tools that make you feel really comfortable, and also really understanding how to be your own teacher, how to work with your partner so that they inform you in the way that you need to be informed, essentially treating them as your primary teacher. And then to practice, and there's no substitute for the just going and finding good people that you can massage and practice and do all those practice massages. So it is really important part to get those 40 massages in before you get certified, and then you can go off and do it. And in terms of my certification, so that gets you a certificate from my school, and that is good enough, or good anywhere in North America, to get your own insurance and join various, associations that I'm accredited with, that we're accredited with, so that you have that coverage as well.
Okay, awesome. And is that pretty standard across the Thai massage industry, or is that, somebody's listening and they're like, okay, great, I want to go get certified. Is that something they kind of need to look out for when they're looking for a training?
I would say, of course, that's an important question just to ask any school that you're inquiring with. But I would also say, from wherever I've looked at other Thai massage schools, for sure, because that's an important requirement for any student. They want to have that insurance to, add to their yoga insurance or get insurance for themselves to be able to practice. So I do believe most schools are able to offer that to their students.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. And then so if somebody's listening now, they understand, where they can go get certified, what to look for, and then, they come out with this certification. Do you have any tips for adding in Thai massage into your business really organically and how to kind of get that as one of your offerings?
Yes, absolutely. So, few tips. Tip number one would be this. Of course, when you receive a Thai massage and you give a Thai massage and you fall in love with this and you're gonna, at least if you're like me, one of the first things you might feel like is just like, everybody needs this. This is such an important thing. It's just so good. And I do believe that that's true, but I also very much believe in terms of helping you to build a business is to identify a certain kind of clientele that is going to really take to this, and essentially it kind of has to answer three key questions for you. One is, who is the kind of person that you would really like to work with, and make a list. And for you, that kind of depends who your interest is. It might be dancers. It could be athletes. It could be people, women who are pregnant. It could be the elderly. Just kind of make a list that kind of segments the general population into specific groups who you think you would like to work with. And then from there, ask yourself, is there a real need? So does this group really have a need for Thai massage? And if we take a pregnant woman, in those 9 months, absolutely, that is a big time in a woman's life where their whole body is changing on so many different levels, and their body is really screaming for a massage. So that's a great group, in my opinion, and I've seen that. And then the other side of it, which is an important part too, is, so we have like a big enough demand and a need, and then certainly the funds for it as well. And in my opinion as well, if we talk about the group of pregnant women, that's a time where they're going to invest more to help take even better care of themselves. So people will be willing to spend the money that it costs to have a massage at that time. So it really satisfies those three key points. So that's why I would say for sure targeting, women while they're pregnant is a great way to build up a really strong niche. And if they also have a strong yoga background, well, even better, because then they're going to understand the benefits of a yoga kind of movement at that time as well.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. That's amazing.
Great.
I was thinking too, I have a friend too, I guess her baby's like almost a year old now, but I remember when she was pregnant last year, she was telling me how, she was so uncomfortable, especially in the late stages of pregnancy, but it was really hard to get a massage because you can't lie on your belly. And
Mm-hmm.
she was having a hard time finding a masseuse who could do a really good job giving her a massage with her being on her side. And I feel like there's definitely a need for that in that demographic, or maybe demographic's not the right word, but sort of that population.
Right. Absolutely. And so I have a whole course that is, a 1 weekend course dedicated to massaging during pregnancy. And actually it's called prenatal and elderly massage, which is kind of interesting because these are two very different segments, different kind of people. Of course, when you're pregnant, you're younger. When you're elderly, you're more at the end of your life. But the needs for there's a lot of crossover between how you might massage between the two different kinds of times of a person's life. So by the time you go through that course, then you have a full 1 hour massage and all the contraindications and everything that you need to know for how to position yourself and your partner to give them an incredible massage. I mean, it's an amazing thing to massage someone when they're pregnant and you see the results and the benefits of the practice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So once you've kind of identified, maybe one type of clientele or a couple of different clientele, what do you feel like the steps are after that to get your offerings out into the world so people can actually find them?
So my next recommendations first would be identify who is like an influencer in that world. So, I mentioned that you have these practice massages to give, and maybe someone heard, 20 massages for each level. That sounds like a lot. But actually, you can be really strategic with it. You can start right from there because it really doesn't, in my opinion, for most people, take a full 20 massages to feel totally comfortable with the material. It might take 10 massages. but I want you to use the extra 10 massages to then not just give the people you're most comfortable with, your friends or your family, but start to reach out broader than that. So people that you don't necessarily know. So if we're talking about wanting to target pregnant women who are influencers in that world, well, tons, it turns out. You have doulas, you have midwives, you have women or people who lead groups for pregnant women to get them ready for giving birth. So there's so many people who are kind of leaders in the field. And if you reach out to them and say, hey, I've learned this Thai massage, I want to give you a free massage, tell me what you think, something like that, and just kind of start a conversation with someone and give them the massage and then talk to them about, if you think this is going to be really great for your students then, or your patients, then can you give them my card, that kind of thing. Then you've really found, one person who can tell 100 people or more about what it is that you do. And of course, repeat that process. Just keep finding the influencers who can just help you build your word of mouth that way. I think that is one of the very best things that you can do.
Yeah, I love that.
Great. And I'll add one other tip, which would be in terms of a pricing model. Something that I've seen also work really well with students is what's called like the 50, 30, 10 model of pricing. So what that means is, we know that it's really important to give to value what it is that you do, not, and this has been a debate forever. And of course, some people may say, at the beginning, I'm just going to give it away for free. I'm not against that at all, but I do think that makes it harder to charge for what it is that you do later when you want to charge, a full price for it. So, one model that I've seen work really well is like, okay, you decide what is my going rate for giving the massage. Let's say it's $100 an hour because it's a nice even number. You could have a special going on that basically says the first massage is 50% off of that price. And then if you rebook right away, so before you leave the massage essentially, then you would get 30% off the next time. And then every future time give someone 10% off. So this way you're rewarding your regulars, you're charging a decent amount, because even getting, let's say, $50 an hour, that's not nothing. That's still a pretty good amount of money. And then $70 the second time, and then $90 going forward for anyone who decides to continually rebook. It encourages them to rebook, and it helps you to build a regular clientele. So I've seen that model work really well for people. So, what they end up just deciding to do is probably having specific times of the week, which is when they're willing to offer the 50% rate. So, the slower times might be during the day or maybe Mondays or whatever it may be. And then the other rest of their week is when they have the massages where they're charging more money.
Yeah, I really like that offering because I agree with you about free, like giving away your services for free. And I feel like it's kind of tough, especially when you're new, because you want to get that experience, but then you also don't want to have this expectation in people's minds where, I just, offer Thai massage for free, or I just teach yoga for free. That's, I'm okay with that, because at some point I feel like you really do need to get what you're worth, which is going to be more than $0. But I love the idea of, giving people some sort of incentive to continue booking with you and, offering something, a discount to the people who are booking with you continuously.
Right. And one other thing I would say, is one of my other biggest advice to people, and it could be about massage, it could be about other parts of building your own business, is, you can't just get too high or too low. There's just going to be times when you have more business coming in and less business coming in. And for sure, that equanimity is pretty key, so that you can just simply be consistent and keep going and keep educating yourself and just keep engaging in it. I think it's really important to have the right mindset to, and actually also, I say, it's as if you've hired yourself. So let's say you want to dedicate 10 hours a week to giving Thai massage. then you really should dedicate 10 hours a week to giving Thai massage. And even if you don't have 10 hours worth of clients in a week, what are you going to do with the other 10 hours? Is it going to be reading your book again and visualizing the massage, let's say that way, or finding a friend to practice on, or looking for one of those influencers, or working on your business in some kind of way? You really just need to always do it. And in this way, the finding clients and the building the revenue starts to become self-fulfilling. If you give up because it gets hard or you're feeling discouraged, then that also can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And we're all going to have times when we're going to feel like that, and maybe when we even do give up for a little while. So, the key is, what do you do with the next moment or the next breath? Forgive yourself, smile when you can, and then just simply come back to it, but it's important, especially at the beginning, the first month, the first 2 months, have the right habits, build that into your life. And then after that, it just becomes natural and it's in your DNA, and you've really changed, your mindset, you've changed your energy, you've changed your attitude, and then you can really build something successful that you love and then go from there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for really this opportunity, Amanda. I love that we've been able to do this.
Yeah, and, definitely.
If it's pretty, I think it's relevant to say, like, how do we know each other? Because we didn't know each other. And I basically was doing an internet search about yoga. I had an idea for an article, and I wrote an article about 4 of the ways that Thai massage can help yoga teachers build their business. I had that idea in mind. And I'm like, okay, well, who can I share this with? And I found your website, MB Om, on a list of the 10 best business and yoga websites. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to send you an email just to see if you'd have an interest in publishing that article. Clearly you did, and you did publish that article. And I'm like, hey, well, I saw that you do a podcast. Could we do that as well? And here we are having that podcast. So, we opened a door together, and we've hopefully brought something of value and of good use to your listeners. And I think it's just a great example of saying, like, that's just how you do it. You just reach out, you put yourself out there a little bit. I wrote to some other people. I didn't hear anything back. That's normal that you get rejected sometimes, but you know what? You create those opportunities for yourself. And here we are doing, I think, something very helpful and beautiful for people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. And I think that my thoughts on, kind of when people reach out to me has always been like, I could just turn down every person who ever reaches out to me, but that's not why I run a website or started a podcast. Like I always want to be open to those opportunities. And I think that that's a good business lesson in the yoga industry as well. I feel like you need to say yes to a lot of things and discover what works for you and that sort of thing. Yeah, here we are. Mm-hmm. We have an amazing episode now.
Wonderful. And really, I love what you're doing, and I salute you so well. I know a little bit from what I've just heard. Like you said, you have these 2 passions, yoga and traveling, and you're building a business around it, and you're doing both, and you're building that dream life and reaching out and helping so many people at the same time. So thank you for really everything that you're doing. It's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So where can people go to find out more about you, about your offerings, your trainings, if they're interested in connecting with you?
So my website is called stilllightcenter.com. Center, if you spell it with an R-E or an E-R, you'll come to the website either way. My book is called Compassionate Touch. So if you go on Amazon, and you just type Compassionate Touch into Amazon, you'll find the book. I'm sure that there'll be links on the podcast page as well for people to find out about me.
Definitely.
But those are the 2 best places to go at this point.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you and learning more about the Thai massage industry.
Thanks, Amanda. And thank you all to all the listeners and helping to support this. And really, I'll just end off by saying that, Thai massage and yoga are are just like two peas in a pod. They're really, it's just amazing things to combine together, and you can build it up however you want. Actually, one last story. I'm thinking of one student of mine named Lynn, and she was already a yoga teacher, really passionate yoga teacher. She came to me and started studying Thai massage, and actually did I have those 2 courses. I mentioned the prenatal. I actually have, about 13 or 14 different courses, depending on how you want to specialize in Thai massage. She did so many of them. And then she decided to move to Costa Rica and essentially offer her services to someone who runs a retreat center, teaching yoga, giving Thai massage. And I guess the point is, you can take these things wherever you want, whether it's in your own hometown or anywhere you want around the world. They give you that freedom and that flexibility to build your dream life. So to anyone who wants to do that, I say, please go for it and help this world make dreams come true. It may sound a little cheesy, but that's what we have to do to help really change the energy and change the dialogue and really make this world a better place.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Shai.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, I hope that you really enjoyed that episode and you learned a lot about Thai yoga massage. I know I came away from that conversation feeling super inspired. I started looking into Thai yoga massage teacher trainings and where I can find it in my area. For more information and links that we talked about in this episode, you can check out the show notes at mbomyoga.com. You can follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Mastering the Business of Yoga. You can join our private Facebook community, Yoga Business Badasses, where we talk about all things yoga business in a really safe and comfortable environment. So you can just search Yoga Business Badasses on Facebook, or you can find the link in the show description or the show notes. Request to come in and I will approve that for you. As always, thanks so much for listening and namaste.